Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, when it comes to spiritual enlightenment or spiritual awakening, one must need to investigate one's own emotions. Why? Because emotions are the byproduct of the mind. It's the subtle mind, ingrained mind in the person. An enlightenment journey is about deconstructing the mind. Why deconstructing the mind? Because mind is always changing. The emotions are always changing. When something is changing in nature, it cannot be true. For something to be true, it has to be unchanging. And the enlightenment journey, spiritual journey, is about figuring out the absolute truth, the unchanging truth in oneself. And the journey towards figuring out the truth is through the false, through the changing qualities. So, investigating the mind and dismantling the mind is the way to figure out the truth, the absolute truth in oneself. So, that's the journey. Okay. So, let's look into the emotions. Again, the emotions are the ingrained belief in the person. It's the byproduct of the belief. It's the uh, ingrained mind. So, one of the emotions is the anger, isn't it? Notice when we are angry, we are emotionally involved. And that emotionally involved is coming from attachment, physical attachment, emotional attachment. The attachment is there because of the meaning that we give in to ourselves. When the meaning is there, when our life is moving with certain meanings, the emotional entanglement happens. Meanings are great. Meanings gives us sense of purpose, sense of direction in life. But it's just the layers to inspire us. It's the layers that we are adding in ourselves. It's the extension on us. But that is not the truth, though. But when you start to see that extension as real, that's where the constant fluctuation starts to happen. The conflict starts to resurface. The 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 attachment brings another layer, which is the fear. So when we see that extension as true, end up making us attached to that, and the attachment makes us suffer. And life is already suffering, isn't it? Life is already full of fear. And because of the fear now, we are emotionally engaged to protect our layers, to protect our identification, our persona. And everyone is moving in the same way. Unless the person is awake to the truth, that's a different scenario. Even person who has seen the truth, the moment of anger might resurface, but that anger has no power in the person because the person sees that anger as just the nature of the mind. And there's no narrative on that idea. There's no inner entanglement happening in the person. That's the scenario in the awakened being. But the person who hasn't seen the truth, then the life is different. The emotions are real. The anger uh, creates a further narratives in the mind. So, uh, looking into the anger, investigating the anger is, a simple journey to figure out why we get angry. We can figure out the root cause of the anger, and we can also dismantle the root altogether to see what is left when the emotions are dismantled. Again, that's pretty much the journey to see the plain sight truth. So, anger is there, no doubt, isn't it? And when we are angry, notice we act in a certain way. When we are angry, we try to control the environment if we can, right? We control the environment. Or when we are angry, we resist. Controlling and resisting is pretty much the similar thing happening. Or when we are angry, we just try to avoid that whole um, space, isn't it? We just move away from it. Whether we are moving away from the fluctuated place, the mental narratives is still unfolding because of the anger. Or if you're trying to control the situation, still the narrative is going. And when the mental narrative is going on, the story unfolds in a way to win, win, win. How to win, right? And when it comes to awakening to one's own true nature, the anger is the layer that makes us forget who we are. But we have already forgotten who we are. Right now, by being part of the spiritual journey, by being interested in the spiritual journey, we have come to this point that there is that there's a we can make the difference that I am not my emotions, I'm not this body, but I am the consciousness. Right? That meaning is there. But notice, if you have been part of the spiritual journey, you have come to the point that I am consciousness, and the nature of the consciousness is conscious. I am the conscious being. But when the anger is there, do you remember to stay conscious, to anchor in consciousness, to stay as an observer? Tendency is not, isn't it? When the anger is resurfacing, we just dive into the drama of the anger and we force ourselves. We forget to be the observer. We forget to stay conscious. And that forgetfulness in us, forgetting to stay as an observer, makes us be part of the drama. And the drama, the being part of the drama, already shows that we are missing out the truth. We don't know who we are. If you know who we are, then we won't be diving into the drama and prolonging the drama. We will see the drama and we step back. But that is not the scenario. Scenario is engaging with the drama, engaging in the drama to show the world that I am powerful. And I am powerful is played by who? The ego self. And who we are right now is the ego self. When the truth is missing, who we are is the identification with the mind. And identifying ourselves with the mind is the ego self, the stubborn self. So, and to be free, the ego has to die. Death of the ego happens when we investigate our emotions. Emotional entanglement is the stubborn ego. Working on the emotion, investigating our emotion and figuring out why do I get emotionally entangled with whatever drama unfolding is the way to undo the drama. So, looking into our anger, human beings are angry people. And this anger is, it's just coming from the place of experience. Everything we go through in life always leaves the residue as an idea of joy or struggle. And and as a human being, we like to hold on to the joy part, pleasure part, growth part, and we just try to uh, push away the negative aspect. And we ingrain ourselves in the positive side of the experience, and we make that as a reality. And we repeat that um, idea, and we put ourselves in the world to produce the same positive result. And we are emotionally entangled in it just to avoid the failure, to avoid the struggle. So when we are conditioned in the positive side, pushing away the negative side, we starts to involve emotionally. And that all this positive conditioning is there, aligning with the certain mind, the upgraded mind, is to avoid the struggle. And we are trying to avoid the struggle because the past struggle that we went through was painful. For most of the people, it was dreadful. When the experience is so painful, dreadful, and suddenly life is unfolding in a in a sudden stability, sudden flow, sudden fun is there. There's natural inclination to hold on to this uh, stability, to sudden fun, and again, just to not to go through that past experience of struggle, not to repeat that. So, but life moves both ways, isn't it? There's an upgraded experience, and also there's a limitation happening in life. And That's life. But we are trying to avoid the struggle and forcing ourselves to maintain certain thing, and that trying to do that itself is an emotional entanglement, and an emotional entanglement is making us suffer. And looking at our anger, look, when we are angry, we are struggling, isn't it? We are physically stressed, mentally stressed, emotional stress. When we are stressed, we are even further blind. We have a hard time to step back from the drama, to anchor as an observer, to be aware of the drama. We are not able to be aware of the drama when the drama is there. We are full on into the drama. And from our experience, we know that involving in drama in such a way is not, doesn't help to be in peace. Doesn't help. It just fluctuates us when the anger is there. Yes, we can dominate the world with the anger. And that anger is already coming out from the place of fear, fear of not able to get what we want, not able to meet our preference. When our preference is fluctuated, when our belief is fluctuated, that means when our life is fluctuated by the circumstances in the environment we're living, naturally we get angry. Again, there's a right time to be angry, to, hey, gotta move this way, that way, whatever way is that. There's a moment, right time to be angry. But most of the time, the anger is just makes us forget to be the observer, makes us forget to be mindful, to anchor in clarity, to see things as they are. We forget. We forget to be the observer. We forget to take the seat of the observer, and that which who we are. That's who we are in the first place. We are a consciousness. The nature of the consciousness is conscious observer. And enlightenment journey, spiritual journey, is about anchoring as an observer. We won't be able to anchor in the observer until we work on the mind, until we work on the mind in dismantling the mind, deconstructing the mind. The process to stay as an observer, truly anchor in that, we must see the nature of that. And how to see the nature of that is examining our identification, examining our minds, our emotions, our entanglement that is making us suffer. What is that? Is the mental identification, emotional identification, and it must be investigated. So we are talking about anger here. So anger is there. So if you want to undo the anger in your life and stay as an observer, you ask yourself, why am I angry? Just that. Sit with that. Why am I angry? Sit with that. Let it ring in you as a background, and there's a reason. Isn't it? Reason to be angry. Again, as I mentioned, yeah, it's the right time to be angry sometimes. Sometimes you just forget. Whatever is the situation is there. It's especially when you're positive, it's the right time to be angry. Don't rely on that. Okay? Whatever reason is there to be angry, when you see the reasoning, then you ask yourself, why is that important? So, just this why. Why am I angry? You see the reason. You ask yourself, why is that important? And use the answer to backtrack, to trace your anger all the way to see the ingrained belief in you. Ingrained belief is making you angry on the surface. So you must see the ingrained belief. And once you see the ingrained belief, you have to dismantle that ingrained belief with the why. Why am I attached to this belief? And that why is going to take you back all the way. This simple why is enough to take you all the way to see the plain sight truth. You just have to, have a patience, and you have to be consistent in a self-inquiry, in the tracing the mind backward. And if you're sincere in dismantling, tracing emotion backward, you won't fail. You won't fail to see what is true in you. And when you see the truth, you see what is, you will disengage from the drama, and you will anchor in the truth, and life unfolds from that. And even after enlightenment, even that the idea of anger resurface, you will just drop it because it has no more power over you, and because you are the power. Okay. I hope this video makes sense to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.